Welcome, guys, to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a little tier list with Mac Miller. Mac Miller is one of my favorite artists all time. So I want to do a tier list, rank the albums. Just a heads up, there are some albums, early albums, or mixtapes that I haven't heard. Have heard some songs from it, but not that much that I wanna include them. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Swimming is the first one. Um, I have a lot to say about that album. I would say it's an easy top 3 album for me from Mac Miller. I mean, it got one of my favorite songs on the album, Wings. I think that song is phenomenal all the way through. I know it's quite a sleeper on the album, but I really enjoy it. So, taking into the context that it's only albums, like, it's my opinion on the albums. It's not like the overall conception of the album or what the public thinks or how many plays or how high it got on the top 100. So for me, this ranking is purely my take, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion about music. I don't want to say what's right or wrong. This is just my ranking of Mac Miller albums, and he's a great artist and he did some amazing projects. So to start it off, we got Swimming, and I would place Swimming at, it's hard, I wanna say S tier for starters. It might change later, but for me, Swimming is a really solid album. It was the first real album he went into his jazzy direction, just like he did with Larry Lovestein, and that persona. It was he showed early days that he really liked making jazz music and walked a different path from rap and hip hop. So I think it's a solid album, and for me personally, it's up there. And then we got Best Day Ever. It's a solid album, and I like it. I enjoy it. It's not the first album I go back to when I want to listen to Mac Miller, but it's a solid album. I'm gonna put it C tier for now. Then we got Watching Movies with No Sound On. Another solid album. Like every album Mac Miller put out is a solid album, but for me, I started listening to Mac Miller around 2014, I think, and I think that's in the time frame of watching movies. So it was one of the first albums I listened to. First, of course, was Blues Light Park. I really enjoyed that type of music when I was that age. I was 16, 15 at the time. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put it above Best Day Ever, but not quite B tier.
What's up, guys? Alex from the future here. I totally forgot that Blues Light Park wasn't included in the tier list, so I'm gonna give it here. I listened to Blues Light Park a lot when I was a kid. It was one of the first bigger albums of Mac that I listened to, so I would place it A tier for sure.
And I want to say just quickly, this tier list is not this bad. I can't listen to it. It's every album on the list is a good album. So D tier is still a solid and good album, but for me, I don't know. I think it varies. I want to have a nuanced take on the albums and differentiate them somehow. So yeah, albums might end up in C tier or D tier, but that doesn't mean they are bad. Then we got Faces. Faces. Super good album. Really good. It's a really solid rap album, and I think from a standpoint of being originally a mixtape and like the theme of the album, I don't know. As a whole, it's a really solid album because it's like all the way through you can hear the problems he got on his mind, and it brings you along on a journey. There are some albums here that are just like more commercial or doesn't have the same storyline, and for me a great album has a great storyline. That's like for me what makes a good album. So I'm gonna put Faces A, and then we're on to I Love Life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Haven't listened to this that much. When it first came out, I listened to it like a lot, but then since it was published on Spotify so late, like you compare it to his more like modern albums, and it's unfair. Like his discography is so wide and so ranged as a whole. So I think it's hard to compare the albums, because an album that came to Spotify just a few years ago is like 10 years older than his real latest album. So he's in different stages of his life, and it's honestly really hard to like compare them in that fact. Like everyone matures, everyone goes through things, so it's really hard to know where to place it. But on the Mac Miller scale, I would put it D tier, honestly, just because I don't think the album is cohesive and like follow a great storyline. There are some good tracks on the album for sure, but it's not that expansive in the storytelling part. It's just an album with some hits, so it's a D for me. Then we got Good AM, and this album means a lot to me. I think it was the first like album I listened to where he started to lift his emotions and talk about like real stuff going on in his life, and I really like that with artists when they like takes the listener in to a part of them that the listener might not really know about the artist. So I would place it at B for that matter. It's got the like standard hits of like radio music or really playable music, but it also got like Godspeed and songs like that are really gritty and are needed on an album. So B tier for now. Then we got the live performance, Live from Space. I have listened to this quite a lot actually. I really enjoy it, and it's hard to compare a live album from a studio album because the vibe is totally different from each other. So, but I really like it. I'm gonna put it B tier. We don't got that much live Mac Miller, especially on Spotify. So I think it's really important for his discography and just for new fans finding his music and can't watch him live like today. Live music is a really good way to like save that memory and encapsulate the time period of an artist's life. Then we got On and Beyond. I think this is on like a level best day ever in terms of like music. It got some solid songs. It's a kind of happy-go-lucky album in my opinion. It's good, but I don't know. I rarely go back to this album, like rarely. So I'm gonna put it bottom of D tier. Putting the tier list in like how often I listen to the music, I would say right now it's kind of somewhere on a scale of where I would, how often I would go back to an album and listen to it. Then we got the mixtape Macadelic. It's another one that got posted late on Spotify and was around long before that. I really like Macadelic. I think a lot of people do. I would place it B tier in between Good AM and Live from Space, I think. Yeah. Then we got Kids, a classic. At least for long-time Mac Miller fans. And I don't know. It's a special album because you hear like the young, hungry Mac Miller like going out for his music career and just putting out songs he likes, and he's doing stuff with his friends in the music videos, and it seems like it's a more easygoing time in his life, and I think that's reflected in that album. I would put Kids C tier, I think, as an album, above Best Day Ever, but is it better than watching movies? I would put it there in the meantime, yeah, because the thing with Kids is it's a really poppy hip-hop album, and the songs on the album is, I don't know, they're good, but they're not on the same standard that songs on Faces or I would say Swimming and the rest above. So for that reason I think it's C tier. And then we got the latest album, Balloonerism. This album I don't go back to as much actually. I find the album like it got some good songs on it, and it's a very experimental album. I don't remember when it first was released, if you can say that, leaked. But in the same time period of Faces, somewhere around that. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. But I really feel like Balloonerism, with the video they made, which is nominated for a VMA, so I don't know if people like the album more just because Mac Miller has passed, or if it's actually a good album. It's an experimental album that is really unique and exciting to listen to for the first time, but I wouldn't like jump in the car and put on a song from Balloonerism before some of the other songs of the other albums. And of course Balloonerism isn't like a party album or anything like that, so it's hard to compare the different songs. I would put it low, to be honest, like middle of D for now, because for me I enjoy the other albums more listening to them, so I don't know, that's just my opinion. And if you would rate the albums in another way, please tell me in the comments or DM me on Instagram or whatever. But for me this is my opinion, and like I said before, I think we all love Mac Miller's music, and there's no wrong or right in how you rank the albums, I would say. And you're not a bigger Mac Miller fan if you like this album more than that or something like that. I just think it's nice to talk about his music still and talk about his legacy and like show the world that the impact he has had on people. Clearly, since I'm sitting here making a tier list about his albums, he made an impact on me. So moving on, we got Circles, the companion album to Swimming. It's a good album. I like the songs a lot, but and I like, as I said before, the way he talks about his feelings and lets us into his world. But he didn't have time to finish all the songs on this album, and Jan made it, the producer on the album, did his best to finish up the album and get it released. I don't know how much he changed or how much he added or deducted from the album, but in a way I don't really feel like it's a pure Mac Miller album because he wasn't there for the end product. but the vision and his lyrics at the time of writing the songs are there. So I think it's a good album, but I would actually put it just above Live from Space. I think it's a good album. I go back to and listen to it quite a lot, but like when I think of the album of Mac Miller, it's not the first album I go back to. Maybe when I'm in a mood to listen to like Woods, some other songs from the album, and then we got Divine Feminine, and for me this is a straight S tier album. There's no question about it. I love this album. I could listen to it. It for me, like musically, like any album in the world, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like it's so solid. I love like romance and stuff. I know it might sound cheesy, but guys and rappers especially dare to talk about their feelings on music tracks and like talk about stuff that make them seem soft or whatever. But that album, he's talking about love, he's talking about his feelings, like love in general, and love is a beautiful thing. So for me it's clear at 10 out of 10. Okay, starting at the bottom of the tier list, I think when I have thought about it for what I think I want to move Best Day Ever down to D tier, and I want to move I Love Life in front, and I'm gonna move Balloonerism up to C, because Balloonerism is like, as an album, a more complete project. Then moving up to C and B tier, I'm quite happy, I think. I might wanna move Macadelic up one spot to the top of B, because Good AM is a good commercial album. Macadelic is a mixtape. They have two completely different vibes. I don't know, I think Macadelic deserves to be top of B at least. It's a really solid album. A tier, I think I might want to move Faces up to S tier, because it deserves the recognition. I know a lot of people, at least my friends, when I play them music of Faces, they say it sounds weird, it's weird sounds, like, but listening to the whole project, it's really good, and like listening through the album from start to finish, you really get the feeling of what he wanna tell and what he wanna say with the lyrics. So I think I'm gonna move Faces up to S tier and Macadelic up to A. I think that is what I wanna do. And for S tier, I'm gonna move Divine Feminine to the top. It's my favorite Mac Miller album. It's amazing. It meets all the stops for me musically and lyrically. It's an amazing album. So that's where I'm at. That's my complete tier list of Mac Miller albums. Please tell me if I'm crazy for this, or if you agree. If you don't agree, why don't you agree? And tell me what's your favorite album, why, and everything. I love talking about Mac Miller, so please do comment below and leave a like on the video. I see you guys next time.